Dirty! Sitting right there. You were very, very large tonight. You were very, very large in the camera.
I beat it.
You're very intimidating looking.
I like that.
Do you?
I like that. As long as it don't interfere with money, I'm okay with it.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Most definitely. As long as it don't interfere with a check, I'm okay with it.
Why am I like all like real faded? You know what I mean?
Faded.
Like transparent.
You mean on the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can't see where you can see it. I only see a Google screen.
It's going on.
It's Monday, baby.
It is Monday.
And guess what? We are those folks. Yeah. Yeah, we are officially the most unprofessional professional champions.
On the internet.
On the internet.
There's nobody more unprofessional than we are.
Oh, most definitely.
You think?
Oh, definitely.
Who do you think could be more unprofessional than us?
Seabiscuit.
No, he's in Dallas right now.
No, Seabiscuit's unprofessional.
Yeah, that is true.
When it comes to us, he's unprofessional.
That is true. Seabiscuit is very unprofessional.
Yeah, man.
So broadcasted on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we live on YouTube.
We're back on YouTube, bro.
How long we gonna be here before they kick us off?
I don't know. They didn't kick us off before.
They didn't?
No.
Yes, I thought they kept banning us because of the music.
No, that was Facebook.
Nah,
Facebook did.
That it did.
Huh?
Shows you how much I'm involved with technical stuff.
How much we actually care.
Nah, man, but hey, that's what's up, man. Shout out to the Blues, man. They champs, man. They champs, man. You're a champion. You know what that means? You're officially a mascot of champions now.
That means I'm a loser.
Because
the Blues are losers.
Oh man, I was dying though, cause like I was watching.
Your boy Bennington.
Oh man, you know what? I'm not gonna fake nor front like I watch sports, anything like that, cause like I said, I'm more in tune than my own life. My life is more interesting to me than the rest of the world. But to sit up there and see all those people together like that, I thought that was awesome. But everybody was so dry. Like the entire crowd was dry except maybe like 1%. And I think that 1% that was out there were all the real Blues fans. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought it was dumb.
Nobody was like getting into it. Like
they weren't, were they?
And then the mayor came out and she was trying to get everybody into it. I don't think anyone even knew she was the mayor.
Was an idiot too.
I'm not gonna lie though. I don't think anyone knew she was the mayor. I don't
think so. I don't think so.
The stars of that evening are what's my man's first name? Bennington. What's his first name?
Idiot.
Well, look, I'm just gonna say Bennington. He was the main star of the evening. He popped off hard on all the local news stations.
Didn't he?
He said, "Show some fucking emotion."
Show some fucking emotion,
I thought that was dope, man. So respect to him. And then Brett Hall, man. Just to see Brett Hall just having a good time like that. You know what I'm saying? What made me like it even more with Brett Hall?
Brett Hall is a loser.
Look, I'm gonna say this though. What made me like it even more with Brett Hall is because he's not one of those old guys. Because when he was here, he didn't get it. He's not all
he had to
bitter
leave.
and nonchalant.
He had to leave to get it.
Okay. But still, even if he left, what I'm saying is
he had to leave to get it.
I'm saying he's not one of those guys who was in his feelings because he wasn't one of the guys who did it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I got
you. I can respect that, man. The fact that he was that excited and happy, I respect it, man.
Okay, I got you.
It was.
But he had to leave to get the championship.
It don't matter. A lot of people leave places to go get championships.
That's true, and they're losers.
Oh man! So then on top of that, what the Raptors? They became champs.
Oh, right.
That was like a bittersweet thing for me.
Why?
Because there was a point in time like I wanted to see Vince Carter get it when he was with him.
I did too, man.
Yeah.
I loved Vince Carter.
Yeah,
loved
that
Vince
didn't happen.
Carter.
And it was good to see like Kawhi get it. I thought that was dope.
Kawhi Leonard, that was awesome.
He did his thing.
Yep.
But I think the other thing that made me not like it is just for the simple fact that I'm not a Drake person. And his personality got really involved in this. And
yeah, I'm not a Drake guy either.
It is what it is. But other than that, man, congratulations to him, man.
Right,
like, they're champions, bro.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, though, is you're supposed to beat a team up that is losers.
I mean...
And that's injured.
Yeah, I think it was kind of crazy. They kind of pushed themselves like that when they knew they were injured. Like, I get it. It's the championship. Who don't want the championship? But
Right.
I guess, everybody has that mentality. You got to be the one to pull the trigger, bro.
That's true. You have to. But they could barely do it.
And then what else happened? You had my man. I think his name Anthony Davis or something like that.
Yeah, he went to the Lakers.
Yeah, man. So what do you think about that? Do you think that's gonna work for them?
I mean, I guess.
Because I know there's a lot of people who be like, oh, LeBron sucks, and
Well, I mean, LeBron does suck.
I just think he's just a different player in a different generation, bro. That's all it is.
I mean, LeBron does suck.
I get what people say now when they say he don't have like a killer instinct about him.
Thank you.
But then again, one thing I could say it could be from how we grew up playing basketball.
Could be that he was a loser.
I mean, not so much as a loser. I mean, he could have been on. He could have been on other winning teams where there was a mentality like we all work together as a team, and
It wasn't.
Hey man, I'm just saying. Man.
I'm just saying. You're a loser. You just admit it. You're a loser. You're a bum, and you really should just shoot yourself.
I ain't gonna say all that, bro. I'm just gonna say respect and keep getting the check while they giving it to you.
Well, I mean, yeah, get your check because you're old and decrepit. You're never gonna be Michael.
I don't think he was trying to be Michael. I think the people put that on him, man.
Nah, he was trying to be Michael, dude.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, he was trying to be Michael.
Nah.
He'll never be Michael though.
No.
I mean, Michael Jordan's Michael Jordan, dude.
I guess, man. I don't get excited.
Huh?
I don't get excited about Michael Jordan, man. He's not one of those basketball players that ever got me excited about basketball. Like, people like, oh, Michael Jordan is in it. Not me.
Shut the fuck.
I'm serious, man. You want to say, like, people who got me excited about, like, basketball? Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman was good.
My man, Gary Payton.
Gary the Glove.
Kevin Garnett. Shaq.
Right?
Even Muggsy Bogues. Allen Iverson is at the top of my list. Like, he's my favorite basketball player, and then next would probably be Shaq, bro. Like, yeah. Those are guys that got me excited about sports, man. It was never like guys like Michael Jordan. I'm serious, man. That's just me. You can look at me like that, man, but that just shows.
That's like a conversation we were having where you just say you just don't rub one out. Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan.
That's what I'm not gonna deny and not say he's not in a league of his own, but I'm not.
Listen, he's beyond a league of his own,
and that's fine. But like, no,
yeah,
no.
Michael is the greatest player to ever play the game.
Hey, bro, and hey, more power to all the people that believe it.
There's nobody better than Michael Jordan.
Hey, more power to all the people that believe it.
There's nobody better than Michael.
That's fine, bro. That's fine. That's why I say that's why I always root for the people who either haven't or never will.
So you liked Karl Malone then?
Nah, I wasn't a real fan of Karl Malone.
Kobe Bryant?
Not Kobe neither.
Well, I know who your favorite was. AI.
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
But AI was good.
Yeah.
I did like AI.
Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller.
That was my guy.
Reggie was the shit.
Steve Nash was my guy.
Steve Nash was cool. I like Jason Williams.
Yeah.
White chocolate.
Yeah, he was dope. He was dope. I liked him too.
Like chocolate, double nickel. Chocolate. I liked Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
When he'd wave that big old finger.
No.
His finger looked like a tree.
Yeah, it was long,
so
man.
Long,
he had long.
like,
No.
And I was scared of that. Can you imagine if he was your proctologist?
Nah, I couldn't. Because he wouldn't be near me, bro.
Because that'd be all up in the guts.
Hey, man, this right here, that first, like, little...
that first knuckle?
He'll kill you. You be acting like Peter, our Family Guy, like... Don't feel like the same person anymore.
No, you would. Yeah, no, not after Dikembe got a hold of you. You wouldn't be.
But nah, man. But like, and it's true, man. Like, I do like more aggressive,
right?
Sports and stuff like that. Because and that's why I said like people like AI, and then you got like Shaq. Like I used to just watch Shaq play ball just to see him overpower everybody.
Right.
I was never worried about him scoring. He's gonna score regardless. Like it is what it is. But it was just seeing him just overpower everybody. Like
overpower wasn't the word part. Shaq literally, when Shaq came out, he destroyed MFers.
I would never like Shaq is one of those people you just never try to block his ball.
No.
Has anybody ever blocked Shaq's ball?
I mean, I'm
like
sure,
when he was going up for a dunk.
I'm sure there was somebody.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was. There would have to be.
Man, I do not want to be posterized up under that, bro.
Can you imagine if you're the guy that posterizes Shaq?
Oh, yeah. You would have been the man.
I mean, think about how cool that would have been.
You would have been the man.
Right? I mean, literally, think about that. Think about how cool that would have been.
That would have been pretty dope, man. That's something to talk about. That's why I say like Allen Iverson, man. Nobody ever shook up Jordan like Allen Iverson did.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying, man? AI was the truth, man.
AI was the truth. I 100% agree with you. I loved AI.
Yeah.
I mean, AI was a phenomenal basketball player.
Yeah.
Phenomenal player. But yeah, I mean, you can't compare LeBron to any of those guys because LeBron's a bum compared to. I think
he's his own person, man. He's his own person.
Yeah, he is. He's still a bum.
I think that's people's problem, man. Just not even just in like sports, but just in life, period. Just because somebody attains like a certain, level of success or fame,
okay,
like they compare that person to every other person. But like if I'm trying to like live up or surpass the person that's already there, I have to do it in my own light. Like I can't do it thinking about what this person has done or how they achieved it. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay,
it's in like you would always be in their shadow. Like, and I refuse to be one of those people that's always in somebody's shadow trying to live up to another person's set of standards. Like
right,
it's crazy to me. And then he's not like the person who I would want to live up to, like
who?
Shaq. I mean, not Shaq, but Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, anybody would.
Nah, I'm cool.
Anybody would.
I'm cool.
Anybody would want to live up to Michael's standards.
Nah, man.
Dude, yeah, anybody would.
I don't, but I'm just saying though, like in comparison, no.
Comparison to what?
I mean, because people are only looking at like his trophies and his money and his wealth and stuff. That's what everybody's looking at. Like at the end of the day, once all that's gone, it's still a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When he's dead and gone, nobody's gonna think about like his money, his shoes, and everything else. They're gonna think about Michael Jordan, the person. And I'm pretty sure
greatest basketball player to ever play the game.
I guess.
No, there's no like.
I guess. Well, look, I can say that's like me saying, okay, like, and some people will disagree with me, but that's like me saying, okay, Floyd Mayweather is the greatest fighter of all time.
I mean, there's a very good possibility that he could be.
Okay, the greatest fighter of all time. But even though I say that, people won't think about him being the greatest fighter of all time. Okay.
First of all, we're talking about morons.
No, I feel like they both have been. Michael Jordan and Floyd Mayweather, if you want to say that, have been morons.
I mean, if you want, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that.
I mean, it just is what it is. You saying me saying it is what it is.
No,
like,
but I mean, don't you listen? You cannot compare Michael Jordan that way.
How? You putting two greats, like two icons,
because
two legends.
There's nobody like Michael.
There's nobody like Floyd Mayweather.
Rocky Marciano.
No, it's not the same.
He was a heavyweight.
He may have been
went undefeated,
but that's in his division at that time. We're talking about a man who was in multiple weight classes and who went undefeated for a certain period of time.
Listen. I'm not a fan of Floyd, but
I'm
he's possibly the greatest boxer ever.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not asking you about if you're a fan or not.
He's possibly the greatest boxer ever.
Man, he is.
I said
he
probably
is. Because you want to tell you something. You want to tell you why another reason that makes him better than Rocky.
Why?
Is because yes, diehard boxing fans and people who grew up boxing or watching boxing, they know who Rocky Marciano is.
Correct, but the average fan doesn't.
The average person doesn't know who he is.
100% agree with you.
So that takes away from everything, because that's just like, what's my man? They called him the GOAT. He can never make it to the NBA, but he was known for sitting up there snatching money off of backboards.
Who?
Somebody knows who this is. I can't think of his name, but they called him the GOAT.
What?
He went to jail and he wasn't able to go to the NBA.
Let's Google this. Oh, I can't. I can't use Google with you because you say it's bullshit.
You can use Google if you want to.
A basketball player called the GOAT?
Yeah. But he never. That's the thing. He never made it to the NBA because he went to jail. But he was damn near like the greatest basketball player that ever lived. All right. Somebody know who I'm talking about, man.
I'm getting ready to look it up. The GOAT?
Yeah.
All right, pulling it up right now. Oh, I can't even say his name. Manigault.
Let me see it.
Earl.
No, I don't think. Is that like an Italian dude?
No, it's a black dude.
Well, yeah, it's a black dude, but I don't know if that's him or not.
Junior high. Let's look here.
But dude was dope though, man. If I can remember his name, I tell you. The dude record as far as basketball and him just doing like crazy feats as far as dunking and stuff like that.
He's still alive. No, he died in
He was ahead of his time.
He died in 98. Let's see.
Is he from New York? He should be from New York.
Yeah, he's from New York.
Okay.
He was born in South Carolina, Charleston. Was raised in Harlem. He averaged 24 points and 11 rebounds for Benjamin Franklin Power as a basketball team when he entered high school. Would later to his expulsion, started selling drugs. He was the star of the high school team. Greatness. Destined for greatness. He was expelled for smoking marijuana at a private academy. Where he and then in North Carolina, in the 1 year, averaged 31 points and 13 rebounds. The GOAT, the nickname the GOAT, has several proposed origins. The acronym the greatest of all time, although it was unclear. Let's see what happened. So he died. So right here, he was released. He returned to Harlem and developed a heroin addiction. Served 16 months in prison from 69 to 70. While incarcerated, he was the subject of a book called The City's Game. After his release at the age of 25, he hung in lower Harlem and near projects, the Franklin Douglas houses, often with close friends, enjoyed, blah, 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 blah. He did play in the ABA.
Okay.
And then he was offered. So it was drugs that cut his career short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so, that's his name, Earl.
And like I said, I get it. You know, he never actually made it.
About.
You know, people like, well, he didn't make it, so we'll never know.
Well, that's like, I mean, listen, that's like Cool Pop Bell. Is possibly the greatest baseball player that never played in the major leagues. He played in the Negro League. Right. He was the greatest there.
Yeah.
But he never played in the majors.
We actually got a street named after him. Yeah.
But he never made it to the majors because at that time, black people couldn't play. But I mean, he's possibly the greatest baseball player to ever play the game of baseball.
That's what's up.
Hands down, probably.
That's what's up.
The greatest.
And that's crazy that you say that. Like, I've lived here my whole life, and I've never even known who that was.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, bro.
Played right over there at Harris Stowe College.
Never even known.
That's where they played in the Negro League.
That's what's up.
But I mean, he was Papa Bell was probably, one of the greatest, the greatest player to never make it into the Major League Baseball. I mean, he was compared to Babe Ruth and stuff. That's how good he was. I mean, he was.
That's what's up.
He was awesome.
I wonder do they got footage of him?
Yeah, they got footage of him.
Yeah, I got to go back and check it out.
YouTube.
I go back and check them out.
Where we're broadcasting live from YouTube.
Oh yeah, all day.
All day long.
Yeah.
All night long.
Right? Yeah. Most definitely.
But no, yeah, you definitely got to go check him out. Man. He was just amazing.
Yeah.
An amazing baseball player.
That's what's up, man. I really thought that was like a minister or something, because you know how they be naming streets after all the ministers and pastors. I literally thought he was just like a minister or a pastor.
Let's Google.
Oh man! So on a random side note,
Uh-huh.
how do you feel about All Out selling out in like 8 minutes?
Don't even get me started because I tried to get tickets and couldn't get them.
Hey, I knew it. Like, I wasn't even gonna try to look for tickets because I knew, I was like, okay, this is gonna sell out. This is gonna be worse than last time. So okay,
Yeah.
while you're looking this up, like, do you think it is what it is? Like, is it a fluke like people are trying to say, or do you think this is something?
Listen, I don't. To be honest, I don't think it's a fluke.
Okay.
So here we go. Here's some stats on Cool Papa Bell. He was born May 17th, 1903.
Wow.
In Starkeyville, Mississippi, to Jonas Bell and Mary Nicholas. Let's see. At the age of 17, they moved to St. Louis to live with his older brothers and attend high school. However, rather than attending night school as planned, Bell spent most of his time playing baseball in the neighborhood. He signed as a knuckleball pitcher for the Compton Hill Cubs, a black semi-pro baseball team, until they broke up in 1921. He played with Compton Hill on Sundays and holidays while worked for a packing company during the week. From 22, Bell moved to the East St. Louis Cubs, a semi-pro team that paid him $20 weekly to pitch on Sundays. So he joined the St. Louis Stars. This is when he joined the I hate even saying the word.
Just say it, man.
The Negro National League. I just, ugh. Bell earned his nickname in the first league season. He was referred to Cool after striking out standout player Oscar Charleston, and added Papa to his nickname after it because it sounded better.
That's what's up.
At first, Bell made only occasional appearances in the outfield. By 24, by the urging of manager Billy Gatewood, Bell began working on his defensive skill and appeared in the outfield. Bell ultimately made a permanent move to center field and stopped pitching before becoming an outfielder. Bell batted right-handed and threw left-handed. His transition to the outfield was aided by learning to bat as a switch hitter, which that's a dying art.
What is a switch hitter?
Yeah, where you could switch, you can hit from both sides
Either
of the plate.
side, yeah.
That's a dying art in baseball today. It really is. You don't see it. So as it goes on, when batting left-handed, his base running speed was even more problematic for opponents because he was a couple steps closer to first. They pointed out that Bell did not have a strong throwing arm. However, Bell's speed allowed him to play very shallow in the outfield and still catch balls that were hit behind him. I mean, like if you go and listen to well, I'm trying to think. Like if you go and listen to Willie Mays and those guys,
okay,
they'll say that this was their inspiration of how they played baseball. He died here in St. Louis in 1991.
Wow.
Yeah, lived right here his entire life.
Wow.
From the age of 17 till 87. So 70 years.
Wow.
He made St. Louis his home.
That's what's up, man.
I mean, possibly one of the greatest base runners ever.
Hey,
in the game.
Random, like I know you said switch hitting is a dying art. So like was designated hitters like an actual thing? Is that still something they do or they don't do
Yeah, they
that?
still do it in the National League or in the American League.
So like break that down for me. Is that just a person that just hits the ball?
That's it. That's all they do. That's what Cool Poppy, Big Poppy was known for. And playing first base. But the majority of your switch hitters or your DHs, they're just DHs. That's it. That's all. Like Edgar Martinez, he was a switch hitter or a DH.
So like, how does that work? Like as far as pay and stuff go, like
you could still get paid.
You
could still get paid.
You just got to be a hell of a hitter.
That's it. You could still get paid out the ass. Baseball is probably one of the most jacked up sports when it comes to pay. Because like literally, you could hurt your toe and still go get paid and sit on the bench and never have to worry about anything.
That's dope. That's dope.
But can you imagine though? See, to me, baseball is still that one sport that is like a chess game.
Okay.
Because it's really just the batter versus the pitcher.
Yeah.
It's just one-on-one. You have a stick that's probably 34 inches long. Maybe weighs 30-something ounces, right? And you have a guy standing 60 foot 6 inches from you throwing a little ball that's probably 3 inches big at you. And some guys can throw it at 100 miles an hour. And the ball gets to you quicker than your eye blinks.
Yeah, it's true.
So, really...
I played baseball before, so... Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, but did you ever see a guy that threw 100 miles an hour?
I feel like it, yeah. It was a guy I knew who could pitch very well, man. He had a very strong arm, man. It was
Well,
ridiculous.
didn't you go to school with... Didn't you go to school with Scherzer?
Sure. What year did he graduate?
Hold on. I thought you did go to school with him.
Depends, man. I be in a lot of situations with people.
What school did you go to again?
I went to Ladue.
You went to Ladue. Let me see where he went.
Ladue had a lot of kids, man.
Who?
Ladue had a lot of kids, man.
Where did he go to school?
That don't even sound familiar, for real.
I'm trying to remember where he went to school. He lived in he went to Parkway Central.
Yeah, I would say yeah, because that name didn't sound familiar.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
So he's 34. So yeah, you could have possibly played him.
Possibly, but there's no guarantee on this.
No, that's true. He got into what year did you graduate?
I graduated 06.
Okay, so he was drafted in 06.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you could have played him.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe freshman year, sophomore year, maybe.
Yeah. So you could have played him. So.
Yeah.
See? That's very good. You possibly did face a guy that threw 100 miles an hour.
Maybe, man. Hey, because it's like when you're at bat and you're getting ready to hit the ball,
right?
You don't think about outfield at all. Like you said, it's just you and the pitcher. And I think for me, like it took me a while to give it over to the fact that, okay, someone's throwing something towards me really fast. It took me a minute to get over the fact that I might get hit.
Right. Exactly.
Like I had to tell myself, okay, there's a chance you might get hit. There's a chance
you're going to get hit.
But you have to, look past that and, focus on the ball and swing for it.
Exactly.
So, it took some getting used to.
It does.
I remember one time I pitched. They had me a pitcher. I pitched to a guy, and as soon as I pitched it to him, he hit it back, and I caught it like in my glove, but it was like on the inside of my thigh.
Yeah,
I had like a grapefruit size. Bruise on the inside of my leg for at least like 2 to 3 weeks.
I had a cup break.
Wow.
I was catching.
Wow.
Kid fouled it off, and it spun off and hit the plate, and came up and broke the cup, cut my nut.
Wow. Wow.
So I have like 3 nuts.
Okay.
I do.
Hey.
I'd show you, but we're on.
That's probably why you're crazy.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
That's what started it all.
I think I'm crazy because like when we played baseball, our coach would line us up against the backstop.
Okay.
Say, cover your balls, and then he would hit baseballs at us.
Wow.
And we weren't allowed to move.
Oh, that's abuse.
It's not abuse.
You can say that he's target practicing towards kids. That's abuse, bro.
It wasn't.
You're covering your nuts, but you're not thinking about your head. Like
it wasn't then.
Then.
It wasn't back then.
It was. It just wasn't labeled.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is now.
He said, cover your nuts.
That's what he said. He said, cover your nuts. We just used our... What's up, Wyatt? There's Wyatt joining us.
What up, Wyatt?
Yeah, so we would just sit there, cover our nuts, and we'd use our body to stop the ball. That's why my nose is crooked, because I remember there was one time I was sitting there, and I was getting ready to bat, and this ball came. Splah! My nose popped like a zit, like the red in our logo behind us.
Goodness.
And I start walking down to first base, and the umpire goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm taking my base." And he goes, "No, you're not. You're bleeding." So they took me out of the game.
Oh man.
But we didn't lose game. We didn't lose games.
Oh, that's what's up.
Because we weren't afraid of the ball. You know?
I guess that's something. Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's just crazy. I get it, like, because you can't be scared of the ball,
you
but
can't be scared.
So everybody line up.
Line up. That's what he would say. Like, I can remember in all the times I was playing, we lost. When I started playing for this team, I think we lost. I played with them for 6 years.
Okay.
7. And we lost possibly 5 games.
That's what's up.
And I think the majority of them were all in our first season.
Mm.
And if we lost a game, it was miserable.
What, at practice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Start running. We'd run and run and run. Stop running. Do a plank.
Oh, man.
We do planks. Get up, run. Stop. Do crab walks. Stop. Get ready to catch the ball barehanded. So, like, we would have to field barehanded. There was the only people that were allowed to use gloves were the catcher and first baseman.
That's crazy.
Like, outfield, we weren't allowed to use gloves. So, like, if it was a pop fly, you'd have to stand underneath it and cradle the ball as it came in.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Well, he's dead now.
Oh, who is it? You can say his name now. Who is it?
His name was Rod Smith.
Rod Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, hot Rod.
Oh, boy. His kid was our pitcher. His kid would be our pitcher sometimes.
Of course.
And he was actually good. And, he was okay. But he called me off one time when I was catching.
Yeah.
So I walked out there, and I'm like, you know this kid can't take it. Coach said, high and inside. He's like, I ain't doing it. I go, okay. I walked back in, and I said, he's going to throw a fastball right down the middle of the plate.
Wow, you told the guy.
Kid. Told him. He's like, what? I said, he's throwing a fastball right down the middle of the plate.
You're a dick.
So he come down. Well, no, because the coach even told me, he goes, if your guys ever call you off, you tell them to pitch you tell the batter the pitch they're going to throw.
Right. Because they're confused about what to do at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I pulled up the signal. Shipped me off. I said, okay. I said, here it comes. Fastball right down the middle.
You told, though. Why would you tell, though?
I told the batter.
Why, though?
Kid cracked a home run. I'd reach behind me. I said, oh, can I have a ball? He walked out, and I go, Coach, you want to come out here with me? Coach comes out. Coach goes, what the fuck did you just do? And I said, he looked right at his kid. He goes, if your pitcher ever tells you, your catcher ever tells you to throw something, that's what you fucking throw.
Right.
And I handed him the ball, and I turned around and walked away.
You dirty, man. That's hella dirty.
Like
you set him up. You set him up. Oh, my goodness.
Baseball's it's a chess game.
I see.
It is. It really is. It's a psychological game, too. Because you got to think, if you're that batter and that guy throws at your head, what's the first thing you're thinking? You're like, oh, Jesus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're backing out. So if he throws anything close to you again, what are you doing?
You jumping out of the way.
Exactly. Every time. So, like, I would do it all the time. I would set up inside and say, throw the ball. All the time to guys. And we'd get a lot of strikeouts that way. So have you seen what our buddy Wyatt has done? He's got 2K19.
Oh, okay.
The wrestling game. And he has made wrestling characters.
Oh, yeah, man. He showed that to me. I thought that was pretty dope. Cool? I thought that was dope, man.
Ain't that cool?
I thought that was dope, man.
So, yeah. So, I thought that was cool. He showed it to me. I was like, oh, sweet. And he's like, I'm playing wrestling as you. I go, that's awesome, dude. Thanks. I appreciate it, buddy.
That's dope,
I thought that was cool, though.
It is dope, man. That's.
So you are in 2K19, but in Wyatt's version.
That's cool, man. That's a step in the right direction for me. That's cool for me. I enjoy it, man.
It is cool though.
I hope me and Wyatt able to kick some ass, man.
Is that what you guys are gonna do?
Yeah, man. Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Right? Why not? Right? Why not kick some ass?
Tear it down, bro.
Tear it down. Oh. No, you just messed up your entire screen. It all went fuzzy.
Hey, it happens, man. Yeah, but anything interesting? Did you do anything interesting over the weekend?
No, I just haven't been feeling it as of late.
Okay. I remember you saying something to me about that.
Just haven't been feeling it last few days.
Mm.
I don't know why.
I think you know why. You just don't want to talk about it right now.
What do you mean?
Because you elaborated a little bit on it when we were talking earlier about it. But you saying you don't know why. I just think that's something you just don't want to talk about because of how it makes you feel. So that's why I'm saying that.
I mean, I guess.
That's a yes or a no. I guess.
Yeah, you just know how you go. You know, you go through some things and you just like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, you're just not feeling it. You're just like, life sucks right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, peaks and valleys, man.
Yeah.
Peaks and valleys.
You know? So. But after we talked, I did some stuff at work.
Okay.
And it kind of changed. Kind of my day changed, so I kind of
That's what's
felt
up,
like
man.
a little better.
That's good, man.
You know?
Man.
But
you just needed a diaper change. That's
probably. Right. Yeah. That's what it was. But I mean, sometimes you just, you sit there and you don't really, I think we take for granted, like you said, everything that we that goes on in our life.
Yeah, I think people do it on an everyday basis.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you just like, shit, life sucks.
Yeah.
When really, to be honest, life really doesn't suck, but we just make it suck.
True.
You know what I mean?
Because we harp on ourselves, man.
Right, yeah.
I think, you know what it is? I think society has trained us to, like, just be down on ourselves.
I have to agree with you. I think so, too.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's what it is.
Because it's like it tells you, like, you have to work hard to be successful. But at the same time of working hard and be successful, it's telling you to chill out and take a break. Mm-hmm. You can't do both at the same time. You just can't.
No, you can't.
And, people, they set, like, certain levels of expectations for themselves. And some, it's easier for them to meet and acquire, and they're able to deal with it. And for others, it's not. Like, life is real. Like, it's not easy, and it doesn't get handed to you. And I just think, like, man, people don't, especially now, people can accept, I don't want to say failure.
Right.
But not having things their way. We're at a point where people just can't handle not having things their way, whether it's financially, in a relationship, partnerships, anything. Like, people just don't like failure, man.
Right.
So yeah, that's the reason why I say that. But other than that, man, I think some of everybody goes through that. I just think it differs in the situations and the circumstances.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a really thought-provoking text, huh?
Well, yeah, you want to read it?
I don't need to read it.
No, I'll let you read it. It really was. It really was.
This is the D.C.S Show.
Here you go.
On this lazy, laid-back Monday.
He loves 2K19. But let's get back to All Out. AEW sold out in 15 minutes. Dude, they had 80,000 in the waiting room to get tickets. 80,000 people to get tickets.
I want to see how you gonna respond to that. That's hilarious.
I know, right?
Are you talking about All Out, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's crazy, man. I think that's crazy.
Like, here's the thing. I'm
happy for them, though.
I am too.
I'm extremely
Here's
happy
the
for
thing,
them.
dog. Like, I was sitting in line an hour in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it didn't put you in the waiting room until 30 minutes beforehand.
Wow.
Okay? Then it still didn't tell you your place. So when I actually got in, I was 25,000 deep.
Wow.
Okay? Now, they said that the way they were going to do it was they were going to allow the tickets to where scalpers couldn't get tickets.
Okay.
But I don't know how you're going to stop that.
There's
no way. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they could put a limitation on purchases.
They did. 4 tickets per person.
Well, then you can really cut down on scalping like that.
You sure? Because if you go on StubHub, you go on BidSeats.
Some people probably have
not plugs.
Which probably had people like doing it for them. Like, you do it and I'll give you the money type settings. Like, but that's a lot of holes to jump through.
That is true.
That doesn't guarantee you that you're going to get tickets with all those. Like, it just does.
Okay, so for like the seats that were $30,
yeah,
on StubHub you can buy those seats now for like $130, $140.
I can believe it.
So they're marking it up $100.
I would.
Ridiculous.
I would.
Ridiculous.
Get your money, dog.
Ridiculous.
Get your money.
Here's
dog.
what I'm saying though. These dudes,
because they're not doing nothing illegal.
What? Someone to eat ribs and travel the country, salary $5,000 a week.
What? That ain't real.
I don't know.
That ain't real.
I don't know.
That ain't real.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Hey, pull up the application. I'll fill it out right now while we talking.
I'm doing it right now.
Man, I $5,000 a week to eat ribs and travel the world.
Right?
They probably gonna kidnap your ass and never bring you back. That's like the ultimate setup. Because it sounds too good to be true, man.
So here's what it is. Summer barbecue just got a whole lot tastier. Reynolds Wraps is looking for someone to travel across the United States in search of the tastiest ribs. If the Savior barbecue wasn't enough, they'll also be handing out a $10,000 check to go along with it. This person will be chosen to travel across the country for the first 2 weeks of August in search of the best barbecue in America.
I might have to fill that out.
Might have to.
Just for the 2 weeks. Because they're going to give you your pay for missing work.
Yeah, right?
So I don't care. I'll take it.
I know, right? That would be pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it, though?
Yeah, so you were saying, like, these tickets, people are marking them up to, like, $130.
Yeah, they're marking them up to $130 and all that BS. So, I have a feeling with that many people in line, they could have probably went and sold out Soldier Field.
Bro, I think they did. I mean, I'm not saying people haven't sold their tickets, but I'm pretty sure there are people who bought tickets and then are selling them now. But
right, exactly.
Like, I knew it, bro. When they announced it and they said, okay, All Out in Chicago, when I was there, and I was just like, that's gonna sell out. Right. I guarantee you, there are people who were at that show who started looking to see, because like
I remember you texting me.
That's how I end up getting tickets to Double or Nothing, because my friend had he had like a promotional code that allowed us to get, but of course we paid, like, you know,
right,
which had me on the floor, which were nice seats.
Yep.
But still, like that's the only way I saw us getting it. Like, period.
Right, yeah.
But
they didn't even do a pre-sale this time. And even their pre-sale for Double or Nothing, your pre-sale, when they did the pre-sale, it guaranteed you a ticket.
That's crazy.
Because it only limited it to those many people there.
Yeah.
Because we did the pre-sale for Double or Nothing.
I think the reason that might have happened is just based off of MGM.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they were sure how many people were really gonna buy tickets for that show, and I think it surprised them when it happened. And now since it was that successful in the way it turned out, they're like, okay.
But here's the question:
because you got to think about this. You like their pay per view. Their pay per view was $49.99.
Right? Yeah.
They were successful in their buy rate. Like, people actually paid the $50, bro.
Right. But I've seen where some reports said it was only 100,000. And then I saw some that said it was only like 200,000.
They're not. It's not going to be like hundreds of thousands and millions of people.
And
like,
then I saw one where they said it was close to 1 million buy rights.
I don't really know what it is exactly.
But even so let's just say
the fact that even if they were able to pull 100,000 buys at $49.99.
Okay, so let's just say 100,000, right?
Right.
Times $49.99. Man, that's just under $5 million that they made.
That's all I'm saying.
Just under.
That's still successful, bro.
Oh hell yeah, it's successful.
WWE don't have that many.
And well, here's the question.
You can't tell me they got 100,000. I mean, well, yeah.
No, they got over
over 1 million. But still, when you look at that, look how many pay-per-views they give away for free, though. So it's not the same.
Network.
I mean, but it's not the same.
But here's the thing, though. When was the last time you saw a WWE event sell out?
Excluding WrestleMania?
WrestleMania didn't even really sell out.
I don't know, bro.
There were a lot of empty seats.
I don't know, bro, because it's been many times I've went to WWE shows and you look around and there are a lot of empty seats, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
See, like right now, here's what it is. Right
it
now,
had to be like when Austin and The Rock were still around, though. It had to be around that time. It had to be, bro. Like when Austin and Rock was still around, that's probably like really when they really sold out to capacity multiple times. Other than that, I don't see any other period where that could have happened.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Not even with John Cena.
No, I agree with you, not even with John Cena. But what AEW now has is they have the social media market.
They got the pulse of wrestling. Man.
Right. They have all of the keyboard warriors that sit at home and just bash.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I'll always watch.
You know what I think it is? I don't think it's keyboard warriors. I think they have a lot of purists, bro. They have a lot of pure fans. No, because like really, like think about this. Like you have two different types of hardcore wrestling fans.
Uh-huh.
You have the ones that are just traditionally WWE, and that's what they grew up, and that's all they've ever known.
Uh-huh.
And then you have those ones that grew up with WWE, branched off, seen other things, but still maintained and followed through. And I think a lot of those people who really like actual wrestling are the ones that's flocking over, that's been going to New Japans and Ring of Honors and all that other stuff. I just think now they're really voicing their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those people, like, and I've always said it, like, don't get me wrong, I was a major fan of WWE at a point in time.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still a fan.
It's not the same.
Right?
I don't love it the same. Like, I don't.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I actually watched an entire Raw or SmackDown.
Last time,
to be honest, with NXT being as good as it is, I can't even remember the last time I watched a full NXT card.
No, last time I was really watching WWE, CM Punk was still on the roster. Edge, when Edge was there, I was watching then. Mr. Kennedy. He's extremely underrated.
Kennedy.
Who else, man? Like
a hero from Green Bay, Wisconsin, weighing 252 pounds. My name is Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy.
Kennedy was a beast, man.
You know, it's funny that you say that because the princess, that was her favorite wrestler. She knew his entire...
Hey, Mr. Kennedy was a beast, man.
She knew his entire spiel. She knew his entire spiel. That's how funny. I should call her.
Hey, go ahead, man.
And ask and see if she remembers. Let's see if she remembers her favorite. Oh, her and her little friend made up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I seen it coming.
I know, right?
I seen it coming.
You can see it coming.
I seen it coming as soon as she said it.
Yeah, I know, right? We're not friends anymore. Talks about me behind my back. These little girls, man. They're just crazy.
Yeah.
Little girls are nuts.
Yeah.
Be glad you don't have a little girl.
Yeah. The world's lucky.
I love them.
The world's lucky I don't have children.
I love all my daughters, but God, they drive me up a wall. What are you doing, princess?
I think if I had a daughter right now, she'd be into like...
We're going to put you on the air. We got a question for you.
She'd beat your son's ass.
Me and Uncle Damien have a question for you, okay? All right, hold on. Okay, you there? Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Here it is, little princess.
Hey, what up, lady?
Good.
You gonna say hi to Uncle Damien?
Hi, Uncle Damien.
Hey, what up, baby? How you doing?
I'm good.
So we were just talking about wrestlers.
Okay.
Do you remember who your favorite wrestler was when you were a little girl?
No.
You don't remember.
No.
You just went through a whole
I just went
shit.
through the whole thing. You used to know it all. His name started with a K and ended with a Y, and he came from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
No, I don't remember.
Mr. Kennedy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Do you remember I'd watch it, and you would sit there and do his whole little spiel when he would come out.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's
Now who's your favorite wrestler?
What do you mean?
Who's your favorite wrestler now?
Like WWE?
No, who's your favorite wrestler right now? You know do what?
Well, like, what do you mean your favorite wrestler?
You know there's only one right answer to this.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like, what do you mean?
Who is your favorite wrestler right now?
There's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, it's
involved.
over. It's over.
It's the whole, like, what do you mean wrestler?
Like, who is your favorite wrestler right now?
Like, I could pick a South Broadway wrestler.
Okay, who's your favorite South Broadway wrestler?
Damien.
You're not supposed to like him. He's a bad guy.
That's brutal.
I don't care. I'm a bad girl.
Hey, watch it.
I don't know what I meant, Dad.
Yeah. Well, me and your Uncle Damien are going to come pay you a visit, and your little boyfriend's a visit, too.
You act like I have a boyfriend. I'm as single as can be.
Right, that's good. And you're going to stay single for the rest of your life.
Yeah, just focus
Yeah.
on school, man.
Just focus on school.
Okay.
All right, Princess. Do you want to do the Mr. Kennedy thing?
No.
I think you should.
Do you remember how it goes?
No.
I think she does.
She does. She's embarrassed. All right, Princess. I'll see you this weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
That's awesome, man. You got a good dynamic with your family, man.
So, yeah. So we used to talk that stuff.
That stuff. That stuff.
But, I mean, what AEW has now, I mean, with you go to YouTube and you watch the Being Elite
Yeah.
with the Bucks and Omega.
It's personal.
I mean, they have just cornered.
Yeah.
They've made wrestling
All right.
back into the Attitude Era again.
So, with that being said, so,
Okay.
you know, of course, everybody's picking and choosing, saying what they think is going to happen, whatever.
right?
But, like, so I heard, who was it? I think it was
What's up, Miller?
It was Conan, and I forgot who the other guy was, but they were talking about, like, the changes in the times, and do they think the reason that a lot of...
Are you talking about this show that was on Vice? The wrestlers on Vice?
I don't think so. I think this was like a podcast. This wasn't on
Okay.
Vice. But they were talking about how, like, you know, it's like a period where a lot of the older wrestlers and a lot of the newer wrestlers, especially like with AEW,
Mm-hmm.
the older guys are kind of feeling like the younger guys don't really know how the business is supposed to be ran.
Well, and you know-
don't feel. Oh no! Wait.
Okay.
They don't feel or think that the younger guys know how the business should be ran. And they think that because of social media and stuff like that, that they're catering to like social justice type stuff, like with Sonny Kiss and all that other type stuff, and handicap wrestler. Like, some people feel like that could be a detriment to their success, where others are saying like, well, maybe because we're older, and is it us that's out of touch, or is it just the business as...
That's I'm actually glad you said that, because Vice Land, you get Vice Land?
I watch it
Vice?
on YouTube, man.
Okay, so that's funny that you say that, because there's a show right now.
I know they just had one about something about death matches. I wanted to see that, but I haven't seen that one.
But there's something on there there's a show on there right now called The Wrestler.
Okay.
Or The Wrestlers, okay?
Okay.
And I mean, I love Vice.
Right, I do too.
I love it.
I do too.
You got I mean, and you really want to see a really good show.
When it comes to Vice, I just click on it and just watch whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
there's a really good show on there called the Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I love that, man.
Really good.
I love
really
that.
good show.
Okay, so look, with all that going on, do you think stuff like that, like with those old stories and stuff coming out, I'm gonna let you finish what you're saying, but like, do you think like Dark Side of the Ring and stuff like that is affecting why a lot of these younger guys are switching up? Because you gotta think about how many people like left. Think about how many people are trying to leave, and then you have those few who are under contract who are still there, and then those, because there were a few who actually decided to renew.
Correct.
So is that like a guaranteed money thing, or is that, oh well, I'm gonna take my shot to become like a legend and a great in this business, like, which I just hit you with a whole nother question, but
here's what I think it is. Okay. I think that with today's social media, and everything like that. Like, do I think some of it's stupid? Do I think I'm not a fan of the death matches? I'm really not. Okay. I mean, I understand where the appeal is. You know, if you go and watch the Juggalos, with the Insane Clown Posse, they do a lot of the death match stuff.
Shout out to Superhuman, man, because that dude's nuts. Hey, that dude is a beast, man. Somebody need to give him a check.
Here it is. Here's the interview I was wanting to find. And this is with Montavious. What do you call him?
MVP?
Yeah. Which I didn't like. Let me go back. I didn't like MVP.
Nah, I thought MVP was dope. I just don't
think
they used him right.
Right.
Some ways, I beat the shit out of my body for entertainment. Wrestling's changing. You have this new generation that can do incredible things that we've never seen before. There's no other.
So right there, he said it right there. Ready? So listen.
We've never seen.
Listen to what he says right here. It's that headphone. Listen to what he says right here, okay? Hold on, let me go back.
You have this.
Okay, so now we were just talking about wrestling changing, correct? Now this is what MVP, who is a veteran of the business, and we're seeing the changing of the business.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to hearing what he says.
Wrestling's changing. You have this new generation that can do incredible things that we've never seen before. There's no other drug like it. I mean, I've tried a few.
Hey, he's not bullshit.
No, he's not. So the first question that you asked, okay, is wrestling changing? Yes, wrestling is changing. There is a new guard. I think for the fans that have been going and watching wrestling, I think we're getting tired of seeing the same old BS all the time.
Yeah.
Okay? So now you had this little upstart company called, you had a guy who left because he was tired of the way he was being treated.
Right.
Cody Rhodes, right?
Right.
He left. Tired of the way he was being treated. I mean, I could take this all the way back to PJ Black, Justin Gabriel.
Yeah.
A guy who left because he was tired of the way he was being treated in WWE.
Hey, he was actually
and now look at him. I mean, PJ Black's probably one of the best wrestlers. Thank you very much, Linda. We appreciate it. He's probably one of the best wrestlers in the world today.
Yeah. He's champion right now, isn't he?
He's a champ somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at a guy like Austin Aries.
Yeah.
Who left the WWE.
Waste Austin Aries. Like, there's no reason. You know what? And I think, you want me to tell you what I think it was? I think it's simply because he was a little guy.
Right. And here's the thing. We're going to go to the purist, okay? So, there were, when I was growing up, I was more of a WCW, NWA guy than I was WWE.
Wait, early WCW or later WCW?
I'm talking like when it was the Crockett Promotions.
Okay,
when in like the late 80s, early 90s, when you had Sting and all of them. I was never a Hogan fan.
I've never been a Hogan.
I was always a Macho Man. Ooh, yeah.
Speaking of,
Elizabeth.
because you said that, I found me a Macho Man action figure I want, bro.
Oh,
It's the Slim Jim one.
yes.
He has like the yellow and the
The
red.
red,
And
red.
he's holding Slim Jims
Let
in his
me-
hand, bro. I want that.
Listen here.
I want that.
There is nothing like the adrenaline of standing on top of the rope and dropping the elbow. Oh, yeah. I mean, Macho's voice is probably the most...
It's like one of the most recognizable voices
That,
in
and
the
it's
world.
probably one of the most done voice in the world.
Yeah,
Everybody does Macho's voice.
but it's been rare. You can find people who
They can
really
do it right. You know, but so you know,
like when I get like really smashed, like I'm drunk, like I talk like Macho Man. I'm serious. Like when I get really wasted,
you did do a little in Chicago.
Yeah.
You did do a little in Chicago when we were playing pool.
Get smashed or
And it was funny. It was funny.
Hey, for real, man.
But I mean, so then all of a sudden, now we have this new age. Now we have this new age of kids who are watching YouTube, who are watching Twitter, who are Facebook, you know, the internet. And then there were these two little dudes in California. And there was this guy who left the WWE and said, I don't want to be held in a creative box anymore. And left and went over to Japan and became a megastar. And then you had these two little dudes who had super kick parties. Now, and they changed the way wrestling was looked at.
They made wrestling cool again.
Yeah,
man.
they were like the DX in NWO. Because
it's different.
Here's how it looks. Like when we want to see wrestling, right?
Right.
We want to suspend
disbelief.
Yeah, suspend disbelief, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we get 500 to 700 people down there at South Broadway Athletic Club. That's why, you know, you get 300-400 people over there in East Carondelet.
Right.
Because you want to suspend disbelief. I mean, those crowds are so diverse, it's not even funny.
Always, man.
And you don't see any of those people fighting.
Nope.
I mean, you'll see them get hammered up and drunk, but you won't see fights in the middle of the crowd.
No, not
You
at all.
go to a wrestling arena, anywhere, you're not going to see people fighting with each other.
No.
Like you will at a baseball game or a football game.
True.
You know, for the longest time, I would tell people, oh, you know, yeah, I watch wrestling. It wasn't until I went to my first WrestleMania where I'm like, Jesus, I'm just a no job away from most of these people. I mean, and I'm not saying it to be mean. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of them look like they hadn't taken a bath in months.
You're stupid, man. I mean, wrestling does have an acquired taste.
Right, exactly.
Acquired taste.
But if you remember, I mean, they brought the attitude back to wrestling.
Yeah.
That was missing.
Yeah. And I think that's mostly like what my generation is. Like because you got to think about it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like a lot of people in my generation, we are wrestling fans.
Right.
But when you hear these older guys talk about older guys and they're like, well, you're supposed to know this person. You're supposed to know this person. We'd be like, what the hell are you talking about, bro?
I remember.
No, I'm just saying, we're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Like when we were watching wrestling, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like it was The Rock. Like, and I know some people may get offended from me when I say this, but that will go down in history as the greatest era of wrestling, the golden era of wrestling, regardless if people want to admit that or not. But it's the truth, man.
And you heard what MVP said in there. He goes, you got these younger guys who are coming out and doing things like no other guys before them.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys that are just doing stuff. Now, again, there's certain things that I like, and then there's certain things I don't like. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the death matches. I'll watch them, but I'm not a fan of them.
I like the ones with Terry Funk and
But that's a different kind of death match. The death matches that you're seeing now, these are guys that are going out in their backyard and doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least like when Terry Funk and Sabu did the barbed wire match, there were precautions taken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know with Sabu and Terry Funk. Not with them two. I don't know, man. You could have said anybody else. I probably would have been like, yeah, but them two. Nah,
I remember that match when he barely barbed wire the very first ECW pay-per-view, and Sabu ripped his bicep open and blood just pouring. And that son of a bitch is duct taping it closed.
Wow.
Duct taping it closed. Oh, now she goes, now that we're off school for the summer, we should start up a show on the weekend or something.
She's ready to get back
She's ready to get back into it, I guess, right?
It's because she has her friend.
But, so, I mean, like, I go back, and because, you know, I have the network. I go back and I watch a lot of those old matches.
Yeah.
You know, like me, I loved that whole WCCW, World Class Championship Wrestling, where it was the Von Erichs, Gentleman Chris Adams, whatever his name is, Gino Hernandez, the Von Erichs.
Yeah, Gino was a
beast, you know, and that was real. That was real life. Like the kid I love right now, who's out there, MJF.
Yeah, man, I heard a lot of people talk about MJF.
MJF right now is the best heel in the business.
That's what's up.
He is the best. What? Did he say he doesn't know Sabu? No, shut up, Stevie Ray. Did you say you didn't know Sabu?
No, I know who Sabu is.
Oh no, we were talking about when I was talking about his death
matches. I said I've seen death matches with Sabu and No, I said Mick Foley and Torrey Funk.
Yeah, I remember watching the match where Mick Foley when he got wrapped up in the ring rope and ripped his ear off.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I remember that match.
Because he was hanging by his head, man.
Hanging by his head. So, I mean, wrestling is our modern day gladiators.
Nah.
Yeah, it is.
Nah.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's MMA, bro.
Well,
that's MMA, bro.
Now it is. But like I said, I'll go back. Like I said, I used to love watching the WCCW stuff.
Yeah.
I used to love watching the Ric Flair in the old NWA and World Championship Wrestling. Yeah. I loved watching that. I mean, I would watch the WWE because that was the one that was on all the time.
Yeah.
I still watch the WWE. But it is so hard to get through an entire WWE
I can't do it.
Show.
Can't do it.
I can't do it.
Can't do it.
Now, like, I just watched Dominion.
There is no interest there for me to do it.
I just watched New Japan.
Yeah.
Dominion. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because it's the old style of wrestling, the strong style.
Yeah. I love strong style wrestling.
It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, do I think the and I've said it before and you've heard me say it, right? I'll say it. You cannot be you cannot make it in the WWE unless you were born, bred in the test tube of the WWE.
True.
That's it. Organically, it happens for a few people.
Yeah.
Organically. Daniel Bryan.
That was organically.
It happened. Becky Lynch.
Organically.
It happened. As much as I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, he was born and bred in the WWE.
But that whole...
But it was a different kind of wrestling because they just let them say what they want.
Yeah, but that's what I still say it's organic because they let them shoot from the hip.
No,
and
because everybody
how they feel.
You're telling me there ain't a time where you wanted to look at your boss and punch him right in the mouth.
Yes, all the time.
Exactly. So, but Vince let Stone Cold do that. You see what I'm saying?
That'll never happen again.
Not ever happen again.
You know what? The crazy part about it is it's lost its luster over the years, bro. Like, so many people get to hit Vince McMahon now. It's not.
Yeah, you're just like, you hit Vince McMahon.
Like, I've seen Roman Reigns punch Vince McMahon at least like 3 or 4 times.
Whatever.
It's not the same, man.
You're right, Stevie. I watch MMWA too.
It's not the same, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, man. Now, if I could punch Harris, like,
I mean, yeah, if we could punch Harris, that would be great.
Oh my God,
that'd be great.
That'd be like that Austin Vince McMahon
just
moment.
To knock Harris out one day.
Nah, man.
Huh? Wouldn't that be great? Just to knock him out one day.
Huh? I can hear him now. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Come on.
I'm gonna let you. When you do, I'm gonna knock you clean.
Just knock him right out.
Hey, that's how Harris is all the
That'd
time.
That'd be funny, dude. I'd pay to see that.
Hey, man, Harris is a beast, man.
I would pay to see you.
I bet you Harris let people hit him first and then he follow up, man.
But no, I mean, wrestling has changed.
Yeah.
And the question is...
So, before you go, because I want you to elaborate on that one part as far as change, because like what Conan was saying, like...
You're right, Stevie Ray. Austin did grow over 3 promotions.
So, did like now with AEW, with them having people like Sonny Kiss and stuff like that, like what Conan and them were saying, do you think that's just them catering to like a social justice type crowd, or do you think that's them actually being different and allowing, different people to come in and like, participate in, in wrestling?
I think what it is, it's letting people feel welcomed, because the thing with wrestling is very welcoming, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think,
I think Goldust is a big example of that.
Exactly. Right.
Gene is a big example.
Exactly.
Of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love this. Joey Ryan, prime example.
Yes.
I love Joey Ryan.
Hey, man.
Love Joey Ryan. But what I was mad about when Joey Ryan signed with NXT as a trainer and to wrestle in NXT, he's not going to be able to be Joey Ryan.
No, never.
Like, prime example, Sami Callihan left the WWE.
Okay.
And now look at him.
Popping.
Sami is probably...
Everybody who leaves starts to pop, man.
Sami is probably one of the biggest stars,
but still
in the industry.
But you want me to tell you something though? That still goes back to say what you can say this about WWE. It's crazy. They don't know how to make superstars, but they know how to piss people off enough to make them go become superstars. And that's crazy because that still has to do with them. Like, and I don't care what anybody says. No other promotion in the world can train you to perform in front of large crowds and on television like WWE can.
It can't.
And I think that benefits a lot of people when they leave because they interact.
Well, there is one close here in St. Louis.
Well, yeah, that's a given. But you're talking about a legacy that can't be compared. Like,
right? Yeah. No, what Vince did. I mean, listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon changed the way wrestling is perceived today.
Yeah, but I think
hands down.
But I think he's past his prime.
I agree,
and I think the business is on the verge of finding its next Vince McMahon.
I think the next Vince McMahon is already there.
You talking about Cody?
No, I think the next
Triple
Vince
H
McMahon is there in WWE.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you.
Say what you want about Triple H.
Because I was gonna say this, man. I genuinely do believe if Triple H is allowed to take over WWE and run it like he thinks it needs to be run, that's going to change the product around completely.
Look at NXT.
Yeah.
Like I can stomach I can watch an NXT show.
Yeah.
From beginning to end without fast forwarding.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's just trying to catch it and remember when it's on.
Yeah.
A takeover. I look forward to watching NXT takeovers because they're so good. But let's look at the people that are on the NXT takeovers.
By the way, does like takeover ever have more views than the regular pay-per-view?
Oh yeah. Let's look at it. It's a bunch of indie guys. I mean, look, you got Adam Cole, Bay, who's on there. You got Bobby Fish,
right? Who's
on there? Alex O'Reilly's on there. I mean, these guys are good,
right?
Good wrestlers. Now you have your guys that the WWE are trying to build into characters like Velveteen Dream. Velveteen's cool, but will that gimmick get over in the WWE on the main roster?
I don't know.
No Way Jose was big in NXT, but where is he now?
But it's like you can't say that because one, NXT you just said is not the same as WWE. So it's not like these guys are allowed to do their thing once they get on TV. It's not the same, bro. The only thing you can
NXT they are. It's when they get up to the main roster, you have Vince who has final say. Now, I mean, there's been stories that you can go to Vince's office and Vince will talk to you. They say Vince has an open door policy.
I call bullshit.
I mean, Jericho came out and said in his podcast.
I mean, maybe
John Moxley said it in.
But you got to think about the people who saying this. Think about the people who are actually saying it. Like, they're all stars and superstars in this business. That's different. Like, an average Joe that actually has an idea or something that's creative probably can speak to Vince McMahon, but he's not going to take it serious.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they will or not.
I don't think he takes it. I don't think he takes people serious until something like we said organically happens that's out of his control that catches on and spreads like wildfire. Because even case in point, like when we were talking about Daniel Bryan.
No, okay, here I think it's like this. It's like with Harris. So you can go. Anybody can go and talk to Harris, right?
True. I believe so. Yeah.
Right. And you could throw 100 ideas off of Harris.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
Not all of them are going to stick.
Not at all.
Okay. But then you might give him that one that sticks.
Yeah.
That's what they say about Vince. They go, you can go in and talk to Vince and pitch him anything about your character. Vince will give you the input on your character. But 9 times out of 10, he's going to tell you no until it's one thing that he thinks will stick.
But then think about all the stuff he think that stick. That he's one of those people that's like hella obnoxious and things like all the random stuff. And don't get me wrong, I could take a joke, but everything with him, like depending on what your character is, he's literally down to the period of who you are. Like,
well, yeah.
Case in point, like John Moxley said it best, because he was the lunatic French. He literally had this dude out here talking to mannequins, bro.
Right? Yeah.
Doing all this crazy.
Well, Vince loves props. We've seen that.
Yeah.
Vince loves props, but you could see the difference between NXT and
completely
Raw.
Completely.
And Triple H 100% controls NXT.
I don't think Hunter's ever gonna, and I don't think it's gonna be Vince that's gonna be like, oh, I'm retiring, I'm gonna get his. I don't think that's gonna happen. He's gonna sit in that chair till he dies. And then it's gonna go to Stephanie, and Stephanie is just gonna allow Hunter to run it, and that's what's gonna happen.
Well, you already know who it's gonna go. You know it's gonna go to Stephanie and Shane, and they're all gonna run it.
I think Shane's gonna be on like a committee board or something like that. I don't think.
Well, I mean, he's already on a committee board.
Which I think they're finna try to make Shane champion, which I think is some bull.
Oh, they're gonna make Shane champion. You can see it. The writing's on the wall.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch it.
The writing's on the wall.
That's why I don't.
You can see it.
Which, don't get me wrong, because I feel like Shane McMahon is a very underrated wrestler.
He's very
underrated.
Really is. Shane is a really good wrestler.
He
gasses out fast.
But he's put his body on the line in more spots than anybody I can think of.
Anybody in that Mick Foley.
Nah, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, Mick Foley then took some bumps. Like, I ain't talking about no Nestea plungers and all that stuff when he was doing that to himself. I'm talking about literally taking crazy bumps. Like, Mick would have to be, I'm sorry to say this, but Mick would have to be like second to Foley to me. I mean, well,
I can see that.
And I mean, next to Shane. And the only reason I say that is Mick went through the cage on 3 separate times.
Yeah.
Those were all brutal bumps.
The cell, not just the cage, the cell.
Yeah, it went through that at least 3 times. You know what I'm saying? He's fell on tacks. He's done all that other stuff. So he's kind of in a lane by himself where can't nobody really top him with that. But there's a difference from a person just being abused. You know what I'm saying? And people abusing him, taking advantage of that. And then a person like Shane McMahon, where he's not only athletic, but he's putting himself in these crazy spots in these feats, and he's actually being
everybody's disagreeing with you.
I mean, that's cool. They can disagree.
Listen.
I mean, because like, look, when I say this, Mick Foley is like one of my top wrestlers of all time. Like, and I'm never gonna discredit Mick Foley, but when you look at as far as like theatrics, like as far as like those leaps of faith and all that other stuff. He mostly was the crash test dummy. Whereas Shane was a dummy and he was the rider at the same time.
Right, yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, you go back and you watch a Shane in the Attitude Era match, and him not doing something crazy.
That's what I'm saying. But like when I speak of Mick, it's with nothing but respect. But I feel like because he was that person who was willing to put his body on the line like that, I think a lot of those people took advantage of that.
Oh yeah,
and that's what I'm saying.
I mean, when he fell off the Titantron, he fell off the Titantron. Come on, there's only a few other guys that have done that.
Only other person that's been up there is who? Jeff
Hardy
and Shane.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I mean, there's only been a few other guys that have jumped off the top of the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. Shane?
Was Shawn Michaels one?
No, Shawn didn't fall. Shawn was climbing down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about the very top, like Mick Foley and Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
And Shane McMahon did it off a Hell in a Cell that was even taller than the original Hell in a Cell.
Like, it's not the same, bro. It's just really not the same, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that plunge when Mick fell through the ring, those 2 times with Taker.
Yeah.
First time was an accident. Second time was an accident. They didn't expect him to fall through there like that.
No.
So those bumps are horrible because he wasn't prepared for it. He wasn't ready for it.
Animal did not fall. It was Hawk. Animal didn't fall off of it. There was a there was a lift behind it just to make it look like he fell off. So he only fell about 5 feet, so you couldn't see him.
I'm just saying, man. It's just, when you think about that, that's crazy. Because the only other person I can think of who's legitimately done the same thing that Shane has done is Jeff.
Right, and Sabu is a douchebag.
It's Jeff. And maybe Edge and Christian.
See, like, I even watched ECW. I remember when ECW first came out. And I was watching the shit out of it. It was coming on at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I just happened to be up one night, and I was like, oh my God, it was on Fox Sports 1 at the time.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God. So I set that time, you had the VCR
and shit. Set the time to
record.
I had
to set the timer and all that.
Yeah.
And man, the ECW stuff was awesome. Like, one of my favorite feuds, actually 2 of my favorite feuds of all time.
Yeah.
Was Tommy Dreamer and Raven. Yeah. And then poor Tommy. Yes, I was up jerking it. Poor Tommy gets this championship, and then 30 seconds later loses.
That was hilarious.
He gets his first win against Raven, and then loses his championship.
That's hilarious.
And my other favorite feud, and the best part about it, is they didn't touch for a year. Was Taz and Sabu. That feud you got in, and regardless of what you want to say about Paul Heyman is a genius.
Yeah, when it comes to wrestling.
When it comes to writing in wrestling,
hell yeah.
Paul Heyman is probably the greatest writer of all time.
Hell yeah.
Because like with me and Juan and Joey from Canada, when we went to New Orleans, we actually got to see the Paul Heyman Q&A.
Yeah.
And we got to ask, people were asking Heyman questions and stuff like that. And I got up and I asked Heyman, I was like, the question I asked him, Juan, try to remind me, I think it was, the RVD and Jerry Lynn feud was good. I want to say it was something with about CM Punk.
Okay.
About how true the pipe bomb really was.
Right.
And Heyman said it was 100%. Heyman helped him write it. If I'm not mistaken, correct? Juan, I think that was the question I asked him. Yeah, see, it was something with Punk. Because, I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest speeches ever. I asked him what it was like to work with Punk. How much did he write for Punk? And it was the pipe bomb. And he said, yeah, you're right. You're right, Michael Lilly. He's a great booker. Just don't trust him with a checkbook.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, I mean, Paul Heyman said one of his favorite people to work with was CM Punk. He said that was one of his favorite guys to work with.
And that's crazy because you hear so many people say the opposite.
Yeah, he goes, because you could tell CM Punk something, and then he would just go with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, one of my favorite feuds, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
A great feud. And look what they're doing to Samoa Joe.
Oh, man,
and the fans would pop when Joe comes out.
They burying Joe.
And they're burying him. I mean, he's wrestling a murderer who can't wrestle.
Man, leave Ray alone, man.
Who, the murderer?
Ray deserves way more.
Ray don't deserve shit.
Ray deserves
He is a bum. He is a bum.
But you know what, though? We can say it, man, but I think Ray can kick your ass. I think Ray could
I
kick
could
your
put my
ass.
hand out above his head like this,
Aight.
and his little midgety arms would be swinging like this,
I think Ray would kick your ass.
and he couldn't even touch me.
I think Ray would kick
Couldn't
your
even
ass.
touch me. Couldn't even touch me. He's a bitch.
Oh, okay.
He's a murderer. That's all he is, a
He
murderer.
did, man. The dude died.
Murdered the dude in the ring.
That wasn't him, bro. So what about all the other times he pulled the move off successfully?
It doesn't matter.
I don't think that was
One time.
Ray. I don't think that was Ray. I think that was dude took himself out.
Yeah, it was Ray.
I watched the video
I did too.
several
It was
times.
Ray. It was Ray.
I think dude took himself
No,
out.
Ray did.
I think he fell too short, man.
No, Ray did.
Whatever. Man.
I never liked Rey Mysterio though.
I see.
I loved when Kevin Nash took him and speared him like a javelin right into the side of their truck. I wish it would have broke his neck then.
But how can you say that? Is it because he's little?
No, I just don't like him.
Yeah,
Never liked him.
You've never
never.
had a reason not to like him.
Never
bro.
liked him.
Rey
He's an
Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's a beast, man.
And speaking of Paul Heyman, so murderer, like I said, Juan, we're sitting there and this dude.
Juan doesn't know anything but murdering cheeseburgers.
Oh, Juan's in Vegas right now, murdering something.
Murdering cheeseburgers in Vegas.
Shut up, Stevie Ray. You would agree with Damien if he said the sky was green.
The sky is green.
He'll agree with you.
Yeah.
So we were sitting there in the Paul Heyman thing, right?
Yeah.
And this dude just gets up and yells, "Chris Benoit's a piece of shit." Well, hold on. Paul Heyman loses it.
Why would you say that?
Loses it. Paul Heyman's just like, I can't not verbatim, I partaked in a few too many daddy sodas and a few gummies when I was in
Oh yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
But Paul Heyman says you can say what you want about him.
I feel like Chris Benoit would probably have been the greatest wrestler of all time.
And that's exactly what Paul Heyman said.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman says we don't know the real truth of what happened.
No one does.
We
man.
just know what we were told.
Exactly.
He goes, and let me tell you
And
something.
there's so many different
What
pieces.
did the guy say? The guy said something about Chris Benoit being like a piece of shit or something.
Like Chris Benoit, like there's so many different pieces to that story, man, that just don't get acknowledged. I look at Chris Benoit the same way I look at Kurt Cobain's situation. Unfortunately, like I don't. They have too many similarities.
Oh, the guy yelled out, "You love Benoit."
Benoit was the truth,
And
man.
Paul Heyman said, "Yes, I do."
I would go home and watch some Benoit.
And Heyman called the guy a piece of shit.
I would have too,
Is
bro.
what he called him.
I would have too.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Because one, that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about.
No.
And then two, you just wanted to say something just to say something.
Right,
And,
yeah.
like, I hate that, man, because it's everybody versus Benoit, bro. Like, he only maybe got like 3 people defending him. You know what I'm saying? And I think that sucks, man. Like, I really do, man. That's Juanita, isn't it? Yeah, of course. First off, let me tell you.
First of all, let me tell you.
Benoit sucks.
Paul is a loser.
Go ahead, Juan.
Go on, Ron. You're live.
Well,
What's up? How you doing in Vegas, pal?
I'm still alive.
You having a good time?
I am, yes.
All right, so refresh me on this story because I couldn't remember because I was really hammered that night.
Yeah, we were all pretty hammered, but I remember that just because I thought it was great. This dude stands up and yells, "You love Benoit." And Heyman, like, came unglued. He told the guy to sit down, and then he said, "Listen," he goes, "Chris Benoit was a great wrestler, but he goes, as far as anything else, fuck him, and if you like Chris Benoit, fuck you too."
Yeah.
He goes, "He was a piece of shit. He chose to take his wife's life and his son's life. They never had a choice in the situation because he made it for him, so fuck him."
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And look, that's cool.
And I mean, but he
But
did.
nobody knows, bro.
Well, yeah, and that's what. And Heyman did say, he's like, we don't know. He goes, but all we do know is he had a choice, and he didn't give his wife and his child a choice.
But see, this is the thing, man. And like, I try not to dabble into the conspiracy, but people always make you jump into it. This not even on some Kevin Sullivan. Like, I'm stepping away from Kevin Sullivan.
Ooh.
I'm just looking at the simple fact of him doing things outside of his norm. Now, if he was suffering from depression and all that other stuff, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If he snapped, That's perfectly fine. But all the stuff that they wanted to blame it on, the closest thing I could see was they say he had a brain of an 80-year-old person.
Right, yeah.
And that's from concussions. Now, if that's the case and that's what caused it, then once again, it's unfortunate. And I'm not one of those people who likes to make victims. You know how I feel about victimization. But technically, he's a victim in that situation. So that goes back to say, well, what about his health? Was anybody helping him with his health? Hell no. And that's why I hate when I hear people say, "Oh well, he's a murderer. He did this." But
Rey Mysterio is a murderer.
But when you hear people like Chavo, when you hear people like Chavo explain the conversation that they had with him, but moments before whatever and all this, and he just magically stuff like that isn't taken into consideration.
No, you got a point.
When one of his best friends say, "I was on the phone with him and it sounded like he was struggling," and all of a sudden the phone cuts off, and then all of a sudden he calls me back, and then he doesn't sound like himself. He sounds completely out of it. And "Oh, I love you," this and this. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
you got a point.
Look. If you can believe OJ killed them people, then you got to believe that somebody killed Benoit, bro. That's how I look at it. That's how I'm gonna hold America. That's how I'm gonna hold America accountable for Benoit, bro. If you believe OJ did it, then you have to believe somebody killed Benoit, bro. That's how I'm looking at it.
All right.
Nobody killed Benoit but himself, man.
No one was there, but somebody was there with OJ.
By the way, OJ did
it. Exactly. But with Benoit and him killing his family, that's an assumption, bro. That's just an assumption. Like, what about the whole thing when people went into the whole thing talking about how his wife was shown as dead on the whole Wikipedia thing and all that other stuff before it happened, and then a little while after that, she actually ended up dead.
I love when Juan calls in because you two just go at it.
I mean, I love talking to Juan because Juan, like, it is what it is. But like, I'm gonna stand on that because it sounds great to say it. If you believe OJ is guilty, then you gotta believe that Benoit didn't do it.
I don't understand. I don't know where your thoughts coming from.
It sounds crazy when I say it. I know it. But look, this is the thing. Did anybody see OJ do it? No. But look. There's evidence to prove that he was there. But there's also evidence to prove that he wasn't by himself.
That is true.
Now you're right. And now I don't believe he did it by himself.
Now, with that being said, they could have caught him. You know why they didn't catch him? Because of greed. That's why they didn't catch him. If they would have just let it naturally happen like it was supposed to, OJ would probably been on death row by now, or he would have been serving life in jail.
Is OJ still in jail for his strong arm robbery?
No, he's not. OJ is living it up, man.
Oh, is he out now?
Oh yeah, he popping on Twitter right now.
OJ down here in Vegas.
Oh,
man.
that's right. Are you gonna? Oh, so Juan. That's funny you say that because Juan's new favorite guy to follow is OJ.
Oh yeah,
on Twitter.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you follow OJ?
Follow on Twitter.
Are you gonna go try to hunt OJ down, Juan?
Dude, I would have lunch with OJ. I just wouldn't want to be around.
I would too, bro.
He goes, I wouldn't want to be around you with a knife.
Hey, man, I kick it with OJ. I kick it hard with OJ.
Would you kick it with?
Dude, OJ used to pull all kind of trim, man.
We know this.
Oh yeah, we do that.
He does now.
He still does.
They be like, oh,
he still does.
He does.
Oh yeah.
You just seen all them white women with.
How old is OJ? OJ's gotta be close to.
He's in his 50s.
No, OJ's older than 50.
Well, he's 60s.
God, OJ's got to be almost 70.
Nah, he's about in his 60s.
OJ's near 70 now, dude. He might be 70.
Yeah, man. OJ.
All I'm saying is OJ still pulling them, man.
How old?
And people know he did it, and they still going.
OJ Simpson.
Oh, OJ's still getting it. Yeah.
71.
71.
Just like I'm gonna flip it again, man. Next person that tell me that Michael Jackson is guilty, I'm gonna tell them OJ is innocent. I'm just gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it every time. And they gonna be like, how? How can you say that? Where your proof?
That's true.
Where your proof?
That's true.
OJ is gonna be more response than everything.
Rey Mysterio, there is proof. Rey Mysterio killed
Rey didn't kill that
murder.
man.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He kicked the man fell short.
Juan, make sure you have some fun in Vegas.
Please do, man.
Thanks for. What are you doing right now that you're listening to us?
I am just got out of the pool and I'm kind of coming down off my last trip.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
So I'm getting ready. I think later on we're gonna go up to this little hole in the wall casino and play some Pai Gow and
That's what's up. Man.
Listen, he's coming down from a trip listening to us.
Yeah.
That's something you don't want to do. All right, Bob, we'll talk to you, brother.
All right, guys, later.
All right, man.
Oh, what? Coming down. I was in the pool. Coming down from my trip. Listening to us.
Hey, man, but that's going to be my new rebuttal for everything. O.J. Simpson is going to be my new rebuttal for everything.
Well, Michael is guilty.
And O.J. is innocent. I'm standing on it, dog. I am standing on it. That is going. When I disagree with stuff like that, that's going to be how I disagree.
That's going to be funny as shit.
I don't care who it is. I'm going to pop that off anywhere, everywhere.
That's going to be... How did we go from the state of wrestling now to OJ and Michael being innocent?
Oh, man. It was my mind sparked by the Benoit thing, man. For real, man.
No, I mean, yeah, wrestling is changing. Hands down, wrestling is changing. There is a changing of the guard. We've seen it. We've seen what we think is what people want.
Okay, so
AEW is giving people what they want.
Okay, so you're saying that's what I was trying to say with AEW giving people what they want. Do you think? And I heard what you said. The wrestling world is very accepting with social media and how stuff is now and all that other stuff. Do you think the community is ready for gay wrestlers and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, there's always been gay wrestlers.
No.
Yeah.
Let me finish. I get what you're saying, but not in that capacity, like a Sonny Kiss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who?
You don't remember the whole Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo storyline?
That's not the same, though. That's really not the same. Like, the whole time they were playing at it, do I think they really, like, messed around? They might have. Ain't no telling.
I'm just saying.
But that's not the same. No, it's not. You want me to tell you why? Because it was insinuated the entire time that they were close friends until they decided to act on the idea, okay, we're going to have them get married. But look at a person like Sonny Kiss. He's a man, but he's dressed up very flamboyantly and he presents himself in a female fashion.
Okay, let's look. Velveteen Dream.
Okay.
He's dressed very flamboyant.
But that's not the same.
That is
because
the same.
Ric Flair is flamboyant.
Okay. I will go all the way back to gorgeous, the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. He came out, was flamboyant, came out with the spray. Adrian Adonis came out.
Who was the older guy that Rick pulled his from?
Buddy Rogers. The Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Yeah.
Is that the dude they used to walk around in the road with? Because I'm thinking about a guy that walked around in the road with a mirror. He would have the really big mirror.
That was
but you know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Adonis.
Okay.
Adrian Adonis. He came out very flamboyant. And it was insinuated that he was gay. Now, in this day, and what are you not buying the Kool-Aid on, Stevie? But in this day and age now, everything is more because of social media and all of that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Everything isn't transparent anymore. It's black or white.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's straight up black or white. Nobody cares. I mean, like, everybody for years knew that Pat Patterson was gay.
No.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
They did, because if you go
they didn't.
Yeah, you did, and I'll tell you why.
It's different. People in the industry, the casual person and fans of WWE did not know that about Pat Patterson until those allegations started being made, man.
I'm talking about behind the locker room.
Of course, them.
Like, you would go, like, Bully Ray was just talking about this on Sirius XM.
I mean, that's different, though. Like, that's a guy that's in a lot. Of course, the guys are going to know that.
See, Bully Ray was just like, I don't buy this whole Sonny Kiss thing. I understand why they're doing it. I think it's dumb. But, I know he didn't look like a chick, okay? But we're talking about insinuating of being a little more flamboyant.
Because, like, what made me think about that was, like, once again, that conversation that Conan was having on that podcast. But then I remembered when I was at Double or Nothing, he didn't participate in the entire buy-in until he had that one spot in the corner where he threw his ass in Tommy Dreamer's face.
Right.
And yes, I think Tommy Dreamer went for it, but I don't think Tommy Dreamer, maybe he knew, maybe he didn't know. I don't know what.
I don't know, but you're going to find out June 29th.
Maybe so. But he did not seem like he was comfortable with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I get it.
But do you think people were comfortable with Rikishi putting his ass on their face?
No, but what made it what it was because it's a fat guy going around putting his ass in people's face. It's not the same. And like you could, I'm by no means hating on anybody. You could be whatever you want to be. Like I don't care. But as crazy as this sounds, some people would have an issue with the guy putting his ass in his face because he's gay. Simply put. I mean, it's the nature of the business. It is what it is. You work a show, you work a spot. If that's the guy's thing, then that's the guy's thing. You have to find a way to be creative to do it. But that's why I was saying with a lot of these older guys, is that why you think it's been so hard to transition? Because accepting the new wrestlers and this new type of breed of wrestlers.
Here's my thing with Conan. Here's my thing with Conan. I don't take a word of salt. Anything that Conan says with a grain of salt.
And why you say that?
Because, this is a guy that talks about, we're just now doing this social justice BS bullshit. Yet, he's been doing this whole stereotypical social justice stereotypes of Mexicans his entire career.
But maybe that was his only option to get on television, though.
Maybe it was. Just like maybe that's Sonny Kiss's only option to get on TV.
If that's his only option to get on TV, then I call BS on that.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe. I mean, Conan wasn't a thug gangster when he first started in WCW.
Okay.
He just slowly played into that role.
But that was Vince. We all know that.
It was.
Man,
that was before Vince Russo.
Even still, who was there before Vince?
Bischoff.
All right. I had to go back and look, man.
I'm just saying. And then Conan just kept it going when he came into TNA. Then when, that
goes into the stereotype thing, though, man.
So that's why I'm saying I don't take anything Conan says with the great. It's like it's like listening to Vince Russo and Vince Russo saying that he was the greatest writer of all television.
Man, don't nobody believe Vince Russo.
Again, that's what I'm going back to saying.
But you're talking about a person that didn't even like wrestling, like. Let's be realistic. Like I'm gonna say it like a Hall of Famer told me. I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't gonna say how long he's been in the business, what he's done. But he has told me minorities and people of darker skin colors. Mind you, this person is a Hall of Famer, right. WWE Hall of Famer.
I know. We talked.
I'm just saying. He's told me if darker skinned people have to work 3 times harder to prove themselves.
Yep.
And in most cases, you have to end up being a stereotypical role,
right?
Not unless it's something that the people attach themselves to.
Exactly.
If you gonna say that's Sonny Kid's option in a place like AEW and their whole thing is going against the grain, that don't make sense.
But okay, well, Stevie Ray says I don't know about that, man. I will say this.
I mean, he ain't gotta know. I know who the Hall of Famer
was. I do too.
He's seen the Hall of Famer many times. I'm not gonna put that person's name out because I don't want. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
That's just respecting his position. Let's look. That is what it is.
So here, let's look. Here, let's look at some of the great minorities in the business.
I mean, I don't want to I don't want to get harped on nothing that had to do just with color. I'm just saying, like. When I hear you say like, oh well, that's why I brought it up because that's like, okay, well, that's a stereotypical thing. But for like that Sonny Kiss situation, that's not a stereotypical thing. The closest I've ever really seen anything like that, and I'm gonna be honest, is probably Goldust. And Goldust pushed it pretty far.
Yeah,
Goldust pushed it really far.
Pushed it real far.
Made people question if he was gay or whatever it was.
Pushed it real far.
But this is different. You actually have a gay person in the ring who's actually a very decent worker, and he presents himself in a very feminine fashion.
Well, here's the thing with Tommy Dreamer. I don't think Tommy Dreamer would do a spot unless he didn't know about it.
I could agree to that.
With him booking at the House of Hardcore, which was just in Nashville.
Okay.
I don't think Tommy Dreamer would agree to anything unless he did not know about it.
Because like that spot right there was crazy. Like,
right, yeah,
he stayed at the bottom of the ropes the entire match just to get up to put his ass in his face
like
and
here,
get tossed over the top.
I'll say this. So like, like the New Day.
Right.
I can't stand him.
I don't like it.
I don't.
Yeah, there's certain stuff I don't be wanting to talk about because I don't be wanting people to be like, oh, all he does is talk about color.
No. I'll bring it up. I've never liked Big E. I've always thought Kofi was a good worker.
Yeah.
I think Kofi should have won the belt back in 2007 when he was going against Randy Orton the first time.
Yeah.
That's when I think he should have won it. The only reason why Kofi got it now was basically it was just because, AEW's coming up. Your contract's coming up. We know you could leave and be big there. Here's the championship belt.
So you don't think it had none of it? Well, you might be right.
I don't, because let's look
everybody was trying to make it seem like it was a race thing.
Right, and let's look at it. Let's look at it. The Kofi train started to already go downhill.
Yeah, a while
since
ago.
Mania.
It was
it was about the second pay-per-view afterwards.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're pushing so hard to sell Kofi to get him over. Now, the guy in the New Day that I like is Xavier Woods.
I think he's extremely
And what I would do with Xavier Woods is him being a PhD. I would turn Damian Woods into the black Damian Sandow and downgrade everybody in the audience. And I would play off of that. I would play off of that. Because think about the heat he would get in this day and age.
You could do it.
With this day and age. Think about it. You know? Like one of my favorite factions, the Nation of Domination. I mean, we were talking about this the other day with that. Let's look at Farouk, where Ron Simmons was.
I don't be feeling that, man, because that's stereotypical bull to me, man.
You're a different kind of breed, though.
I don't be trying to like that be trash. That's like when I first started wrestling, man, and I feel like people was trying to associate me and just put me in a spot because I had braids or locks and tattoos and we're gonna put you with this person.
It's the
and I'm not saying that everybody is like that everybody think like that, but I think off appearance. Like once people see you in this business, they instantly go off of what they see.
All right, prime example. There's a guy that's on Sirius XM, Busted Open Radio with Dave McGreco, Mark Henry.
Okay,
talks about it all the time.
Okay, see, but you know what though?
But I love Mark Henry.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I absolutely love Mark Henry. I think he's done a lot in the business in a short period of time, and respect to him to all his world accomplishments and all that.
Dude's been doing it 20-something years.
All I'm saying is this: he's a company man, which there's nothing wrong with that. I
don't know.
Have you ever listened? When he first started, he was rough around the edges. I heard the whole story about him getting into it with people.
No. Don't watch the Mark Henry thing that you saw on the network.
I'm not talking about that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually going and listening to what Mark Henry talks about when he's on the air.
Okay.
Mark Henry said he doesn't know how many times he was almost out the door. Almost out the door because of the way he acted. He said it was The Rock that pulled him and said, "Listen, you have to tow by a boat because of your skin color. Eat the shit. Do the dumb shit they want you to do." He goes, but cut a path for yourself because eventually they're going to see you for the talent that you are.
Maybe so. And
that's what Mark Henry did.
And you know what? That's cool. But at the end of the day, like, what will he be remembered for being the world's strongest man, or will he be remembered for
sexual chocolate,
knocking old ladies up and having them have baby hands?
I'll remember him as both. Because I literally thought the whole thing with Mae Young and the whole sexual chocolate thing was great.
I mean, it was cool.
And he says that was one of his favorite times.
I mean, that's cool at the time for what it was. But
right, yeah. Like, you couldn't do that now.
I don't know. I think you could.
But I'll tell you, and then when he came out and was getting ready to retire.
I don't think there's going to be no old lady who would be down for that like Mae was.
No.
Mae was a beast, man.
Now, when he came out to retire, and John Cena says, "Here, Mark, you deserve to hold this belt just one time." And then he fucking slammed John Cena down. I was like, yes. I was like, because I knew who Mark Henry was from the World's Strongest Man stuff. I was like, that's how he should have been. Sometimes, it's sometimes people are put into, and not just anything. It even happens to the white wrestlers, but they're put into a box that's the only way they're seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like right now, Dolph Ziggler, probably the best worker in the WWE
Man, we ain't gonna
today.
talk about Ziggly Wiggly like that, man, because I feel like he is completely undervalued.
That's what I'm saying. He is put in a box as just an enhancement talent
I
guy.
feel like they stifled him because they thought he had potential of being greater than Shawn Michaels, bro.
Oh, I 100%
I think
agree
it was
with you,
part
bro.
that, and then at that same thing with Vince McMahon not wanting any more wrestlers being bigger than WWE.
Right, 100% agree with you.
And there's no reason why Dolph Ziggler shouldn't have been like a multi-time. And I'm talking about like
time champ.
he's like
be up
3
there-
times. I
He
think
should
it's
be
been
up there like
three
with
times.
Orton.
Yeah.
In that,
Yeah.
Orton. If you really think about it, Orton and Ric Flair has said it. Orton is the best worker
In the game.
in the WWE.
Yeah.
He goes Orton.
Well, yeah, in WWE.
Because Orton doesn't even
he's
have to.
flawless, man. You don't even have to think about nothing.
The best part about Orton is Orton doesn't even have to cut a promo. He just got to look at you now.
Yep.
And he can sell a promo.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
That's how good he is.
Orton a beast, man.
Orton's great.
Orton a beast, man.
Can you imagine that we've literally talked for 2 hours now?
Hey, man, but that's crazy. Because think about, all right, so when you bring Orton up, man, what do you think about the rumors they throwing out now saying that he's talking like he want to leave WWE now?
He ain't leaving WWE. He ain't leaving. He's not leaving.
How much you think Vince would give him to stay?
Oh, Vince would give him anything he wants to stay.
Oh, man.
Guaranteed. And here's the thing. I don't think Orton could make it on the indie scenes.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know. And
I don't know, bro.
Here's why. Let's look at 2 guys that were built in the WWE, right?
Okay.
That are on the indie scenes now.
Yeah.
And that's Enzo
Okay.
and Big Cass.
Nah, that's different, dog. That's different, dog.
Why?
All Enzo and Cass were mouthpieces.
But Big Cass could actually wrestle.
I mean, but still, he's nothing but a mouthpiece. Like,
I'm just saying.
I'm not taking that from him. Like, he can go,
But
he
let's
can
just
definitely
look.
go.
That's what I'm saying.
But you can't compare some like people like Enzo and Cass to a Randy Orton. You can't.
Okay, Ryback.
No, you still can't compare.
What's he done?
He's decided not to do anything. It's not like anybody hasn't requested Ryback or haven't wanted to see. I can guarantee you Ryback can go anywhere in the world as far as a wrestling promotion and damn near get any kind of contract he wants.
I don't think
I
he
think
could.
so. I think so. Just because of his size and name alone.
He's tried.
They're not giving him, put it like this, realistic numbers.
I'm just saying. He's tried.
Try where?
I'm just saying.
New Japan and all those places?
Yeah, he's tried.
He probably asked for some crazy numbers.
So they just said no. It's once you go into the you're built in the WWE, and you come out of the WWE, and you're at that top level, you get a stink on you.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, man. The indie fans.
I don't know, man. I can't say that, man, because you see so many people who be in WWE now. It's different. Like if they're a mainstay, like a Randy Orton. The only reason I say I think Randy Orton could still succeed in the indies, I think his biggest issue with him would have to be him actually booking his shows.
Yeah,
I think because he doesn't have to do any of that.
And there you go again.
That would be his biggest issue. But like outside of that, man, anybody anywhere would work with him at any time.
Oh, I mean, I think they would.
And he would get over almost
The question is, though, can he do all of that stuff that he would have to do?
Because you want to tell you something, I think it would be, as crazy as this sounds, I think it would be an uncaged version of Randy Orton that we've never seen before. And I think he would be way more aggressive than what he is now.
Oh, I think so too.
I think he learned how to maintain his aggression and present it in a fashion that's acceptable for television.
I agree.
But his character, his gimmick, and how he comes across, he would be a monster in the indie scene. Imagine him in New Japan. Imagine him in a Ring of Honor. Imagine
I
him.
would love to see that.
He would be crazy,
It
bro.
would be.
He would be really. Imagine. Okay, look. Think about this. Okay, so you got Jon Moxley, right?
Yeah.
The Jon Moxley we have now. So imagine
It's an unhinged version of Dean Ambrose.
So imagine if we ended up seeing an unhinged version of both these guys.
That would
in the
be
ring.
awesome.
It would be amazing.
Those two would kill each other.
Just like I
They would kill
guarantee
each
you,
other.
if AJ left and he was out here, he would be way crazier than he had been before, just because he's been taped down.
No, I don't know if he would now with as old as he is.
I don't know, man. I'm not saying he's gonna take any kind of crazy spots like that, but I think he would. I think he would be more aggressive. It's something about guys that after they leave WWE, their style becomes way more aggressive.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Right. This is the D.C.S Show. I am Dirty. Sitting right there next to me is my partner in crime, the one, the only.
Damian Cortez, your mama's one and only favorite. The most greatest, the most hated.
Damn! With that being said, tune back in for the XFL STL. With that being said, this is DCS. We're done.
Yeah.